Okay.
You hit the big red button. Is it saying we're live?
It is.
Excellent. So, it's been a long time no see. How you
Hang on.
doing?
Oh, no, it's still not showing on page, Claire. Hang on. Saying end
It'll
stream.
come up in a moment. That's fine. Normally takes a minute. Oh, there you go. You're live now on mine.
Okay, cool.
So, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, 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 good. So, just while I'm sharing it across to the page, do you want to start with the introductions?
Yeah, we'll
What you've
do.
been up to?
Well, I have just had the most craziest week, I have to be honest. So I have travelled most probably about 400 miles over the last week, which, yeah, I know. So I went and met my idol on Tuesday and Wednesday. I met Simone Mueller in person, which was epic. I think I frightened the life out of her when I ran in and went, "It's like Christmas Day for me." I literally been awake since 4:30 and ran in and gave her a hug. And then she was like, "Oh, okay."
Fans a bit much. Got a fangirl moment.
Exactly. But we're all fine. We're all friends again, so we're all fine. So that was just amazing because having done her instructor's course, it was really nice to see a little bit more context in person, and go through some questions in person with her and some cases. So yeah, so that was really fab. And then got home for a day and then headed off again to sunny Kent. Managed to miss Bertie because I arrived there before it started and then left after it finished pretty much. But yeah, and that was all run by Daniel Shaw, and which was Animal Behaviour Kent, and we had, oh my god, we had American, Michael Chanel's, I can never say his surname, presenters, Amber Baston, Sarah Fisher, who we saw at IMDT last year, and she was just as good with some amazing cases. So with her free work, so yeah, come back and brain is like going, oh my gosh, yeah. Really fabulous. So yeah, I think looking forward to 2025 with some of the things that I've learned, and look forward to sharing with clients for sure. But it's not just me. I know I'm not the only one that's been out and about. I know you've been busy as well.
Yeah, we've had a busy few months, and got a few things behind the scenes going on for 2025, which I'm super excited about. We can't talk about at the moment. I used to find it really annoying when people would do that, and I've just done it myself. I'm sorry. But yes, we've had
millions of people watching this, Claire. You see, I can forget that we're just not chatting between the two of us.
I know. Whoops. Right. So yeah, I saw Ken and Steve Mann and got to talk greyhounds, and Ken Ramirez, as you know, he's one of the just world-renowned trainers. So spending time with him on 3 days of workshops was just incredible. And then getting to talk to him one-on-one, and it was just an absolute fabulous few days. And we had Jack up again from Dorset doing some scent work.
I saw that.
That was brilliant. The dogs did really well. Greyhounds in particular, they seem to like the tracking and the searching, like the man trailing side of things was really popular, along with the free works and the thorough search. But that was good, and we opened it up to a couple of kennel dogs as well, which was lovely. So one of them found a home quite quickly afterwards. So I haven't checked on Bullet for a while. I have to have a little update on how he's doing. Lovely dog called Bullet from Home Run Hounds, and Buzz from Daybreak's Kennels got home. So yeah, so busy. Speaking of which, I can't believe it.
Sorry.
I was going to say, just speaking of busy, I can't believe we're doing the Christmas live. I can't believe it's here. I did go get my reindeer ears out the attic because I thought you might ask about them. Yeah. But apart from that,
it's 4 weeks today, and it's Christmas Eve.
No, I'm not ready. I think
our organisation skills were like, we were going to get organised and be ready, but I'll tell you what, I'm not.
I normally am. I'm really organised with the dog side of things. So I've put in my order with Hounds greeting cards, and I've got something sorted for some of my members, for all of my members. But personally, no. Nowhere there. And a million more Christmas cards, but that's about me at the moment. So it's a good time for me to do this. I feel this is the start of my Christmas tradition now, to have a chat with you and get me in the festive mood.
Exactly. And then I always find it helpful because it kind of just brings it to the forefront, doesn't it, about everything we do, because it's such a crazy time at Christmas. I was with a client earlier and it's the first puppy's Christmas. And, you know, there's generally some concern there about, you know, older relatives visiting and how they might leave things lying around, or, you know, what about presents and coming under the tree, and how do we, you know, introduce a tree even to the young dog, or a new dog to your home. And so, you know, these are all relevant questions, I think, and that's the whole purpose of this live, is to do our best to answer those questions. So, you know, on that point then, so, you know, if you've got a dog that's maybe never seen a Christmas tree before, or in your home has never seen a Christmas tree because you've brought a new doggy home in 2024, then, you know, sometimes we might need to put it up slower, don't we? We kind of recommend that sometimes maybe just putting everything up at once may can be more challenging because it changes the dynamic of the room. So, you know, you can also just put things higher up, can't you? So that they're, you know, out of the dog's reach. Now, for greyhounds, you might only have a star on your tree, hey Claire?
Yeah, not as high. I always just think, when you look at a Christmas tree from a dog's point of view, we sort of like spend all this time doing toilet training and encouraging them to pee up them outside, and like, well done, have a treat, aren't you? And then we cover them in tinsel, which is basically like a squirrel tail but sparkly.
Yeah.
And then we shove balls on them and then go, don't go near that, you'll ruin Christmas. I mean, it's just bonkers from a dog's point of view. But 100%. Yes, we always had a Christmas tree until we adopted Oscar. And then I just went, I'm not even going to bother this year. I have lots of Christmas decorations around, but I didn't go with the tree once we got Oscar. Sadly, it was our first year without Oscar. So maybe the tree can be considered back on the table again. But I know
new traditions.
New traditions. One of my customers has put their tree up. They went very, very early with their tree. They love Christmas, and they've got one of those pens around them.
Oh, okay,
which is great, because they've got quite a young greyhound, and she's a fabulous dog, but she would just eat everything on the tree and play with it, given the chance. So they want full Christmas in their house, but what they've done is just put like a kiddie's playpen around it, so she hasn't got access to the tree itself, which is a really sensible idea. So they can have more than the star on the top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a tall greyhound. And we talked about with my client earlier today that actually putting their tree in the dining room, because the dog doesn't go into the dining room. So it might feel a little bit different, but you decorate it in, like you were saying, you know, you have it in the Christmas decorations elsewhere. But, you know, if you still want a tree, you know, maybe there's some other rooms or places that it can go to, you know, in order that you know, the dog doesn't, you know, get, you know, startled or have to, you know, cope with the tree when it's not ready to and stuff. So it could just another thought.
And like you say, setting it up beforehand, especially for some of the ex-racing greyhounds that I work with all the sight hounds and the new puppies, the ones that are really new to it. Suddenly we've got the room laid out in one way, where the beds are here and this is here, and then everything changes in one afternoon. So as you say, if the beds are going to need to be moved to accommodate the tree, starting to think about that and moving the beds maybe the week before gives you another week to get your decorations sorted, if you're like me, and a bit behind.
I know, because I've got a bay window, and so my tree obviously has to go in that bay window, and the dog's beds are in the bay window, so they get further into the lounge. So it's a really, really good point.
Yeah, start doing some of that now, or before you put the tree up, and sometimes just putting the tree up before the decorations go on and things along those lines, just giving it a bit of time to settle, definitely.
But as much as we love the tree, do you know what I like best?
Go on. Presents.
What's under it? It's the joy of giving and receiving. Phil knows that for sure.
So presents. If anybody's played the box game with me, this is the downside of the box game. We play the box game a lot. Christmas is just like, oh, look at all the boxes that they've got for me to play with. This is great. So yes, being very, very mindful of not putting boxes under the Christmas tree. Otherwise your dog's just going to go, oh, that's for me. And I think particularly as well, you can sound like a bit of a stooge, but going if anybody gives you a present, if you're planning on putting it under the Christmas tree, just does this contain anything toxic to dogs? Does it contain, does it contain chocolate? Does it contain all of the things that we know they can't have before you start putting it under the tree? But we tend to, if we are giving gifts, they're very much kept out of the way of the dogs, and we take them down on Christmas morning and done like that, because it's just.
Because I like having the presents.
Do you like the wrapping paper?
Yeah, and I literally wrap boxes up that I've kept over the year or whatever, and I've got boxes that my baubles go in, and so they all come under, etc. And so it kind of looks festive, because as you get older, you get less presents. So I want to still make it look like
still look like you're 10.
Exactly.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And do you know what? Who gets the most presents in my house? Our dogs. I mean,
yeah, I get that.
So obviously not only our own human food, but some of those dog treats can absolutely stink. Even if they're in plastic, you can still smell them, can't you? They are that poignant.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it is really important to try and keep things away from them in any which way you can. And for me, making sure that also that they I've lost my train of thought, Claire. No, that's what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about what I'm going to get for my dogs. It's been a long week.
It's all these conferences and miles. Scrambling you.
Exactly. So I was hopefully going to lead into that really nicely and say about presents underneath the tree and what my dog's got for Christmas. So, but yeah, there we go.
Do you want to tell us what your dogs are getting for Christmas? What we've got you in the moment. Go for it.
Exactly. Well, I can't speak too loudly because Manu's beside me, you see, on the sofa. Okay. So he might be hearing what he's going to get. But there's definitely a few Tug toys as a partner. And I think you're a partner too, aren't you, of Tug Enough?
Tug Enough, yes. I got one. They were actually at the conference with Ken, so I did get a new toy in from them for Izzy for Christmas.
Amazing,
so,
amazing.
Yeah,
well, look, we can put our links, can't we? Our codes in to get some discount for people, because they'll still have delivery in time for that. I've also getting some. I've got some treats, turkey treats. I mean, we have turkey. The dogs can have turkey, and then I've got leads. If you want to buy any new leads and collars for dogs, I think you go full festive for your collars, don't you, for Christmas for your?
I've got some with Izzy and Finn's. Who's sort of a Sighthound boutique that and she does some fabulous stuff. So Izzy's got like this greyhound coat, and they've got like little festive collars just on that point. If you are switching your dog's collars, it's quite common with the Sighthounds to switch them out for a Christmas collar. Just make sure you switching the name tags as well, because of all the legal requirement to have the name tags on the dogs at all times when they're out and about, or the identity tags rather than name tags.
Yeah. See, I'm lazy. I go for Christmas bandana.
Oh, no, that's still good. Good.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about the tags, but get the Christmas bandana out.
Yeah. I like it.
Actually, do you know what though? At the conference we had Pet Remedy, and I know some friends are kind of associated with them and stuff. But you can spray stuff on a bandana. They need, dogs need a little bit of support and coping, especially like with visitors and stuff coming. That might be something that we can investigate, Claire. I'm
already signed up with them, Sarah.
Only
in the last few months. I was at Edition Dog Show, and I know they've been using them at the kennels with a lot of success, and a few people had. And I was at Edition Dog Show with one of the greyhounds that I trained came, and he was a bit unsure. It was quite echoing in one of the halls, and he was a little bit unsure, and we used that with him, and it helped him massively. So I know some of the guys on Pet Remedy and My Anxious Dog. I was talking to Sarah at My Anxious Dog, and we got him, and it really did help him to sort of settle down. And since then I have been using it with customers and personally in certain situations. Wow, and I've seen some some really good stuff, and everybody I seem to talk to about Pet Remedy, I know a lady that's like a dog sitter and things like that, and they're all really rating it. So
Oh, fab! Because it's on my thing to do and get ready and get associated, but it wasn't the setup at the conference I went to. But that's great. So if people, even if my clients want to benefit, then they can benefit straight away from your discount code, I guess.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a plan. So what else are Poppy and Manu getting from you? Or is it mainly those? Are you baking for them? Because you normally do some baking for them, don't you? That's normally one of your things. You normally do something really creative and baking, special dinners for them.
Well, you've just kind of linked me there, Claire, because I know we do all our lives together, and you and I work, alongside each other, and we support each other with queries and questions, and and just helping each other out on a day-to-day basis. But I've got some really fabulous local trainers, and we've decided to collaborate, and we're doing a doggy advent this year. So we've all taken a number of days. And one of those days is a doggy treat so you can make for your dog's Christmas presents.
And I'm guessing you've got that one.
Of course I've got that one. We have apple and carrot festive bites, don't you know?
Oh, lovely. I might have to just keep an eye on your page and share that across so people can follow your page to see what comes up. So.
Exactly. So, so there's going to be all sorts of, hints and tips and games to play, and because we've all got different strengths, and we thought we'd just collaborate and just show that actually it's great to have a network of trainers like you and I do our lives together to actually, build upon and make sure we've got all the resources that we can offer our clients, the best possible, support that we can do.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. So where are you for Christmas?
We're at home, bouncing around family, but then we're at home. So yes, we're going to be. So Izzy's getting, as I say, she's got a tug enough toy. I've just been over actually to see the guys at Emporium, which is a local pet shop to me. It's kind of in Sutton Coldfield, and they're a husband and wife team. And Lewis was actually one of my mentors when I was training, who runs it. He's a dog trainer as well. He's great. So I've been over there eyeing up. They've got some great things in for Christmas. So I've been eyeing up bits for Izzy for that. But one of the most popular presents for greyhounds for Christmas, I've got it down here, I'll have to show you, is Cleo the caterpillar. It's not actually a dog toy. It comes from Smith's Toys. It's a pet, but it's massive. Like, it's huge and huge and huge. But Izzy loves, and that's half of it I've shown you. Izzy loves to curl up with it. So, but we have already got 2 of those. So I don't think we'll be getting any more. But I know for greyhounds, that's a very popular Christmas presents for greyhounds that haven't already got them. They love to sort of snuggle into them. So yes, that's one of the things, not on Izzy's Christmas list this year, but on many.
Imagine trying to get that down the chimney by Santa.
It is massive. It's really massive.
It looks huge.
Oh, it is. Oh, so we've mentioned foods. Just while we're on foods, there's obviously some of the Christmas dinners can be really rich if we just do a bit of the health and safety around that. Just being mindful that there's lots of things around Christmas that are toxic. And I think generally, if you've got dogs yourself, you become quite aware of these. We need to be careful of mince pies. Raisins can be toxic. We know that
macadamia nuts.
Certain things, macadamia nuts. We know a lot of this, and we were sort of well aware of it. But one thing is, the visitors don't always know this.
No.
Find that and often we have visitors that maybe aren't people that come to our house regularly, and they sort of just leave glass of something on the side and something's got dog nose in it, or at the mince pie or something at an unsafe level. And it's almost sort of being aware of that around Christmas, I think, is a really important sort of safety tip, is being aware of your visitors and kind of setting your dogs up for success with visitors as well. I know some of the dogs, Izzy's not kind of a concern with this, but I know some of our previous greyhounds, and I know some of the dogs that I train can be a little bit unsure of people as well. And somebody having a house full of people can be quite overwhelming. So making sure your dog's got a safe space. And you mentioned just before we came live that you were working with a puppy today.
Yeah,
it's going to be their dog's first Christmas, and you were giving them some hints and tips on visitors, weren't you, and what to do?
I was indeed. So, because they've got quite an open plan layout, and the crate that they're using is in the kitchen, which obviously could be quite a busy place. So we talked about making sure that during the daytime the dog is comfortable still sleeping in the crate, and reassuring the dog in that sense. So because as they get older, they are spending less time in the crate because of the way that the family lives, and so we just wanted to go back over that to make sure that the dog had a safe place if they don't have a bed per se, and we also talked about just making sure that their routine is not too disrupted. I mean, how long ago did the clocks go back? Right, October.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, like clockwork. My boy is bothering us. He has no idea that the clocks have gone back a month ago. Right, his tummy still tells him that it is dinner time, and we're like, no, you've got an hour to wait. And by 5 o'clock, if he hasn't got his dinner, he's now talking to us. Right.
Oh, bless
him. Beautiful, lovely voice that he has. So I know that I most probably get up a bit later. Kind of might have late breakfast. The whole routine on Christmas changes, doesn't it? And so your dogs, that can be quite disruptive, so making sure that they have that routine and that have that safe place can be really important. But that routine might need to be practiced a little bit, so that it's not too much of a shock for them, in that sense. That's kind of how we do it with our dogs, just making sure that they're used to being in the bedroom for a little bit upstairs on their own.
Yeah, and I think we do things, so things might just tweak by, if we're not at work, it might tweak a little bit, and if we haven't got to get up, the alarm clock's not going off as early and things like that. So, but the pattern is still very similar. Yeah. So it's like, we do walks before breakfast. So we would do that walk before breakfast and keep on with that, rather than sort of going, let's start feeding you first and then we'll go on a walk, like you're changing things up too much. So the dogs are still familiar with the routine, where possible, keep that. And I think I'm going to be honest, Christmas can be really emotive for lots of different reasons, personal to people, but sometimes that dog walk as well can be, if you're just having a lot of time and you just want a little bit of space, I need to just go and take the dogs out for a little bit of time, can be a valuable thing for you as well, I think. So
all of a sudden your dog's being walked 6 times a day.
Needs this exercise. My dog trainer said I need to stick to the routine.
Exactly.
I need to go out again.
Yeah, so you're staying at home, but we're going to see my sister this year.
Oh, okay.
And so we're taking our dogs to my mum's house to stay. So we've been doing that, actually, taking them there a bit more regularly, just because luckily they're only an hour away. So but just even that change can be difficult for them, because they're not, everything's different, etc. So it's just making sure that even if you are going to go and visit people, that they still have something familiar, which is why a crate can be really helpful, or their bed, just taking that sort of to see friends and family. It can really make a difference.
It can. That scent that we talk about so much, on about scent a lot, but it's really important because it's one of the dogs, it's how the dog sees the world. So like you say, having those comfort blankets going, it doesn't matter, I can just bung them on something, or people going, well, we've got our dog beds here, don't worry about it. But actually having the things that smell familiar to them is really useful for you to take 100%. Along. And if you can do some settle training in advance as well, getting your dog used to that's the bed, when that bed comes out they go and sleep on it, just like we talked about for sort of holiday times, having a settle bed. And it was something we did a lot of work on with Izzy before we went away this year. So she knew when that bed came out, that's her time to chill out. You can then sort of translate that into other people's houses and that sort of thing. And again, making sure you just position them in a place where they're not going to get disturbed too much and out of the way. And like you were saying earlier, if there's a place where your dog can go off if visitors get too much or people get too much, that they've got extra beds away from people is really important, isn't it?
100%.
Wow. You're saying about walks. What? Oh, sorry. I was just going to say one of the things I am aware of with walks that I find as well is especially it's kind of like our routine. We find we have set walks, and the walks vary, but you see very familiar people. So I know there's the guy with the pointer and the cocker spaniel. I know there's this guy, there's this lady, there's sort of similar people that we see, and we all know sort of each other's dogs and how each other's dogs are and that sort of thing. Sometimes when people start to do like the Boxing Day walk or the New Year's Day walk, they're dogs that are sort of never used to that routine, and they just like let the dogs off. It's kind of, so sometimes, particularly if you have a reactive dog or an insured dog, be mindful of some of those more public walking spaces that it might not be your regular people out walking that do that on a regular basis. So those are sort of high risk situations in that. So being mindful of your walks and your time, I think, is important for those with some of the dogs that struggle with that.
Yeah, well, it is, yeah, totally, you know, especially because ours will have different walks for a few days when we go and visit family, and, you know, it'll be lovely for them because they love new places and investigating, but they're always happy when they come home and go, oh, thank goodness, we know where everything is, we know, you know, what that noise means, you know, our Ring doorbell goes off, that's it, they know to respond, as many dogs do, even though we change it to Santa bells at Christmas, of course.
Of course you do.
And then none of us hear it because we don't expect, we forget we've changed the doorbell. So the guests are standing there going, hello.
Oh, it sounds like they're going to have a lovely time though. And it sounds like you're putting the prep in now to help with that.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
No, that sounds
it's all
great.
good. It's all good. And I know, so talking of walks, I know that I've got a walk coming up, which I'm just about to let my let people know about, and you've got a couple of things coming up too, haven't you? So yeah, because I love a festive get together.
Festive things. So we've got Santa at Daybreaks, which is one of the Greyhound rehoming centres that I work quite closely with. They've got a Santa at Daybreaks, so you know how a lot of people take their children to have a photograph with Santa.
All right.
This is a dog version of that, where Santa's dressed up and you can have your dog have a photograph with Santa.
Oh my God,
but there's also, obviously, it's a fundraiser for them, and then there's quite a few train stands, sort of Hounds Green Guards that I mentioned earlier, Stand from Cane and Massage, and a few, and then other people as well. I've obviously got a stand there, and quite a few other people will be there. With stands selling bits and pieces, and talking about dogs. And then we've got we normally do our social walk on the second Sunday of the month at Castle Bromwich Hall Gardens, which is a social event, and that falls on the same day as Santa at Daybreaks. So that walk is going ahead, although there won't be many of us there because people can just turn up and go. But we've got a little bonus walk on the 15th of December, which will be back at Castle Bromwich Hall Gardens, which is going to be very festive themed. And then I've got Christmas games classes just before Christmas as well, the last classes before Christmas. So we've got quite a lot going on. So those are the things I've prepped for. Personally, I feel like I need to get on a list when I get off this live. What about you? Have you got a walk going on?
Yeah, I haven't told anyone about it. It's best kept secret so far. So it's going out this week. But yeah, end of 21st, I'm going to do a walk. I'm going to do a woodland walk because we don't really have anywhere like you know the gardens that you've got that get sort of decorated and things. So so we'll wander around a woodland and see if it snows or whatever. Who goodness knows what the weather's going to be like. But so we'll do that, and that'll be good fun for people to come along to.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Sounds great. As I say, can't believe how close it is.
I know.
So, moving into next year, we've got an enrichment planned, haven't we? Enrichment Live.
We have been talking about doing another one for far too long, and then we get all these amazing people going, yes, we'd love to come and talk to you. So our enrichment's got gazumped goodness knows how long. So we thought, right, okay, let's start 2025 as we meant to start 2024 and do the enrichment.
I think it's a topic that we're both so passionate about, though. I think it's so important for the dogs, the enrichment side of things. So that'll be lots of games. And I think there's enrichment that you can do, that you can spend money on enrichment and get some great things. But also there's a lot of enrichment you can just do for free as well. And I think January is probably a good time to do that post-Christmas as 100%. Well. Talking of which, just while we're on Christmas, one of my favourite things is a toilet roll.
Oh,
with
right,
some
yeah.
treats inside. And then if you get some paper that is not, not the foil papers, like quite a natural paper, or even just like
Brown paper,
that comes in
newspaper.
Amazon, newspaper, anything like that, making some Christmas crackers for the dogs, and then they sort of unwrap them and get the treats out. So obviously you need to be mindful of which dogs you're doing that with, but I know Izzy loves to play that game. She rips all the pieces up and leaves a lovely mess, but she has so much fun, and I love watching her do that.
Oh, it's one of the games that we do with them through Simon, actually. It's called Killing the Paper Bag, and I use toilet rolls for that, so that they get to kind of dissect and tear the toy, which toilet rolls are just perfect for that. So definitely part of my bag for sure. Oh, literally.
Yeah. Very cool. There we go. She's come back after losing it earlier. She's back in the room.
Oh, and this is what I'm like before Christmas. Goodness knows what I'm going to be like when Christmas starts.
Oh,
brilliant. Well, it's been so lovely catching up.
And me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. I've got a little catch up with you personally anyway next week. So, the weekend. Oh gosh,
yeah, we are going to have a proper
weekend, which will be lovely to talk all about these conferences we've been on and switch ideas.
Because last time we saw each other was in Crufts, wasn't it? Crufts was the last time we saw each other in person in March.
It was March, so that'll be lovely.
We need to plan that now as well.
Yes. Coming round quick. But yes, it'd be if anybody has got any questions about Christmas or anything they are unsure of, obviously at any time you can get in touch with either of us or any of the people we were talking about. If you want some discount codes or want to know a bit more about them, get in touch and we can help you out.
We've got some stuff in the comments below, can't we, Claire?
We can. We'll get that done. But yes, it looks like I'm feeling a little bit more festive. Think you've done it, Sarah. Starting to talk about the visitors, talking about the presents, talking about the tree and the decorations going up. Exactly. I am, and the events coming up. I'm really excited about. So I am heading that way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll have to get off some photos of the dogs near any Christmas decorations once we get them up then and add them.
Yes, definitely. Sounds like a plan.
Fabulous. Right, I'll see you at the weekend then.
I'll see you the weekend. Take care.
Okay. Cheers. Bye.